Good morning. Happy Saturday. Can you hear that rain? It's supposed to turn into snow a little bit later. Okay, to circle back with these. So I've done this batter before. So this is just some protein powder, some collagen powder. Let me see, 2 eggs, half a cup of almond flour, and some hemp hearts. All right, it's that time and it's meal prep. So I thought my camera was going when I did this, but oops, it was not. Right here, we have some breakfast sausage, pork sausage. These are, I'm going to say the brand is Hempler. It's like a jalapeno sausage and it's really good. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that a little bit later. And we still have some more stuff. We're going to meal prep and I will get right to it. So right here we have 2 thick pork chops that I've been marinating for about, I want to say an hour and a half. And these are going to go in the air fryer. And we have more sausage. Can't even talk. Polish sausage. So I'm going to make a batter for these and they will go in the oven. So let's get going. All right, so here's the sausage with the batter. And I think these little, this mold was a little bit big for the sausage, but we're going to see how this turns out. It should be really good. So we're going to stick this in the oven at 350 until it's done. And then we're going to get the pork chops into the air fryer. All right, here's the pork chop. We're going to put this in the air fryer. And for right now, we're going to turn it up to 400 and let's just say about 15 minutes and then we'll check on it. So we'll see what happens with it. So let's get this to going. All right, here's our sausage. So what I'm going to do with this sausage, I'm going to cut it up and add some of this sugar-free barbecue sauce to it and get it in this container right here. Okay, let's do a recap of this is what I'm going to be having for the upcoming week. I have some sausages and some sugar-free barbecue sauce. Here's my pork chops that I cooked in the air fryer. Here are the sausages that I made a little bit of a batter for. These are breakfast sausages. Okay guys, we did our meal prep and all that fun stuff. So we're going for a little drive. We are at the border, getting ready to cross over into Canada. All right, we are entering into Canada. Ooh, that was lumpy. There we go. Okay, British Columbia. Okay, just taking a video. We're going through this little tunnel, and it's kind of cool. Well, we are almost to Vancouver. But for now, let's just check out this little tunnel here. Okay, we made it into Canada and we're at Templeton's. So, let's see what we're going to eat. Here's the menu and this is what we are going to order here, the keto plate. All right, I am back and first off, I'm apologizing because it is Sunday morning. I did not close out Saturday's video. I didn't really finish Saturday's video. So the last part of Saturday's video would have been driving home and I didn't show that it was dark. And when we got back to the border crossing, it was horrific. Something was going on because That line was moving so slow at a snail's pace. Something was going on there. It took us forever to get across, but um, it was fun yesterday going into Canada, even though it was cold and wet, but it was still fun just to get out of the house. And it made me realize I need to get out more. God, since COVID, I've been almost not gonna say housebound, but haven't really done stuff like I used to in the past. All my OG people know how it was just on it, always out and about, always out and about. But I need to get back to it. That's ridiculous. Okay. Let's see. What I was gonna close out the video with is I really appreciate all the comments on the last video in regards to talking about different sweeteners and the whole thing around erythritol and all of that, and all of you guys chiming in with the recommendations and people to watch. And I did take the time to watch a lot of them and to do some more research. And here's just my opinion and how I'm going to actually proceed with all of this, the knowledge. Because I looked at Maria Emmerich. Did I say her name right? Emmerich? Ken Berry, Thomas DeLauer, and quite a few others. I looked at their videos and kind of pulled together some of the interesting information and some of the, how they did the studies, and really just thought about it. And what I'm going to do, how I'm going to kind of do this, is I'm not going to totally remove it out of my diet. But here's a caveat. I had to sit down and really think about, when it comes to sweeteners and all this stuff and all these keto treats that utilize that. When I first switched to keto, it was for better health, but also I come from a background of severe addiction, food addiction, especially around sugary stuff and carbs. And what I noticed, and I'm just being honest with myself, is I replaced a lot of my addiction with a keto addiction, with wanting those sweet treats. Now, do I do it a whole lot? Not necessarily. Sometimes I might overindulge in a day, but I notice I'm just replacing one addiction with another addiction. Not that I'm so addicted to the keto stuff, but the taste of wanting something sweet. And for me, I wanted to really get that monkey off my back, if you will. The wanting the sweets, because when you consume anything sweet, it can even be a keto treat, it sends off little receptors just light up because it's something sweet stimulating you. And I don't want that with food. I'm trying my best to not use food as a stimulant at all. Because I've been in this a very long time, for years, and it's just been one of those hard things for me to kick, just totally kick. It's one thing to say, okay, well, I will indulge once every 2 or 3 months, opposed to saying, okay, every other day, every week or something like that. It's just hard. It's one of those things that is truly, truly hard. So I'm going to challenge myself, because you guys know I have a keto room and it's full of keto crap. And I'm going to actually go through and trash a lot of stuff in there. Because I don't need it. I haven't used it. Some of it is old as dirt. And I got it just because I could, because it was something new in the market, because it said keto. And that's another thing. Everything that says keto could be just as harmful as a standard American diet. And we have to really open our eyes to that. You know, because for some of us, again, me, you replace one addiction with another addiction. So you have this addiction, you're like, well, I can do this and it's healthier, so it should be fine, but you're still stuck in that addiction a little bit. So for me, I'm really want to concentrate this year on kicking that. The last 2 years, I really kicked it up a notch with my exercising and getting to the gym, and I feel solid with that. So this year would be the year for me to really hone in on my addiction. And I'm just being honest, I like sometimes to have my little treats and all of that. And when does that borderline still being an addict because you want to feed that urge? I have to really, weigh that stuff out because it's still not healthy if I'm doing that constantly. It's still, what am I achieving? Itself, I'm not getting that sugar spike, but I'm still getting that slight sugar rush. And I'm also, feeding the addiction. So I'm just being honest with myself. Like I said, totally cut it out my diet. Not really, because I do drink coffee and I can put it in my coffee, but I don't require a whole lot of it. So that's kind of where I'm at with the sweetener. I don't see it as a totally negative bad thing, but and to be honest, I don't think it needs to be consumed a whole lot and overconsumed, because when you think of keto, it's so basic. It's really basic and you build around it according to your tolerance. So it's just basically your healthy meats, your fats, and your low carb veggies. Now, if you just did that alone, period, for the rest of your life, you'd be fine. Let's just think about this for a second. Would you die if that's all you did the rest of your life? No. No, you wouldn't. If you never went and got any fast food, if you never did these bars, the shakes, the cookies, the treats, all that, you'd be fine. You really would. But we like, to have some variety sometime. And also, if you're like me, you come from that addictive background and it's so ingrained in you. And it's very ingrained in me. I'm not going to even lie. It's very deeply ingrained in me. And I have to acknowledge it and work on it. So again, I'm not going to take it totally out of my diet, but I'm going to be mindful of how much I'm consuming it, because it does not need to be overconsumed, period. So for me, that is how I'm going to deal with the whole erythritol fallout. I think the experiment itself was a little flawed from what all that I've been reading from different people. So, but still, I take everything with a grain of salt. And when I try to apply it to my life and my situation, I know that there's work still for me to do. Even though I've been keto for, God, probably 6 years or so, there's still work for me to do on myself around food and addiction and all that stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to close out this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be back for another video. Mwah! Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you.